7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Hello, and welcome to my warehouse. So I figured I'd do a little warehouse tour to give you kind of the idea of what I'm doing, how it's done, how it's stored, and what I do here. So I am in a facility. It's 1,500 square foot on this floor. It is 100% climate controlled, heating and cooling. I have an additional 1,000 square foot of climate controlled environment upstairs as well that I currently am not using. I store a few things, some extra boxes and stuff up there. So, front door, when I come in, I have, this is almost a 12-foot table, I do believe. It's over 10, it's almost 12. 12 by 40 by 40. This is more my sorting table. I really created it because I thought I was going to do more Amazon, and I wanted a nice area for when I brought in retail arbitrage or large volumes of items for me to sort. But what happened was I am not doing Amazon right now. So, but it has turned out to be a wonderful, wonderful tool for me as more of a hard goods. So when I come in from the door, I have a place to sort. Anything that I am not currently working on goes inside shelf sets there for me to work in the future. The items that I'm currently working on stays on the desk, so this is what I'm currently working on now. And then from here, it gets moved to the back of the warehouse. All the photography and stuff is back there. I'll show you here in a little bit. Because I am out here, there is areas in the warehouse that I use for personal, that makes me feel good. So I have a lot of my camera gear. I used to do photography, and I absolutely love to hike. So I surround myself with stuff that I enjoy, so that I want to be out here and work. We go up north to Lake Erie every year. These t-shirts that line the whole warehouse wall are all t-shirts from local businesses that are up there that we visit a regular basis. So to me, those bring me warm and good-hearted feelings. So that's the kind of motif I really wanted in here, so that I would want to be in here. I use this for more of a press station. Don't mind my daughters. TP. It's what happens when you have a 3-year-old. You have to have room for her as well. She has her own little area with her house, and then a TV and everything in the back, so that she'll come in and be occupied so she can let daddy work. So I use this as more of my prep stations for shoes and anything that might need pressed before it actually goes in to get photographed and put away. When I designed this, I laid everything out and made sure that everything would work and I could utilize the space to its max without having to rearrange stuff later. So what we have here is my shoe wall. This shoe wall holds almost 300 items. Eventually, I can actually shift this stuff. This stuff was in here when I moved into the warehouse. So these actually need pushed up, and I can actually get a third row in here. I designed it to have another row of shoes in here so that I could hold roughly 1,000 pairs of shoes. I'm not sure if that's the direction I'm still going, but the options are still there. As you can see on the floor, I still have it marked out for the aisle. That would make an extra 2 sets of rows for shoes for well over 1,000 pairs of shoes that I can hold. Then we go over to my hard racks. As you can see, I have 2 different sizes, and that for the sheer reason of price. These ones are a lot deeper, and as you can see, I don't utilize that space anyways. So we went with a cheaper rack, and it only has a little bit of wasted space, which is going to help in the end. I use a 7 ID number tag system. What row you're in, what shelf set you're in, 1, 2, what shelf from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have how many boxes over, 1, 2, 3. And then these sets of numbers I can actually use, of course, up to 999 if I want to. But the whole idea was that I might get into smalls and actually use totes inside of that. So where this would be 1241, 1, and 2, and then I could have 99 objects within each tote as well. So I definitely planned when I did my system for massive amounts of storage space. When I got this, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I ensured that I left myself plenty of room to grow. Now with that said, this is all of mostly my hard goods. Other than some items that are clothing that have a lot of SKUs with it. So items like this, you can see 24, 41, 00, 002. So there might be up to, there's 4 in this one. These are multiple sets of the same clothes, all new with tags. I do have some of that. My initial design wasn't for that, but it has grown to that, which is fine. It's working for me. I'm not running out of space, which is good. I can always take where those extra shoes were, those 600 extra pairs of shoes, and put another row. It's going to be the same size. So I can still stick a whole nother row of hard goods here and be able to work off both sides if I have to. And that takes us to the back of the warehouse. This table works as a dual table. This side here is my shipping. I have all my shipping materials just at reach at hand. I really like the concept of not having to move to be able to get any kind of material that I want. So I have packing material underneath. All my boxes and my tissue paper are to my left. And this is where I pack all my orders before shipping, or before they leave the warehouse. Now on the other side is where I bring the items after I sort them. This is where I do all my sheets, get prepared for my wife to do what she does. She goes in and creates the draft, and then I add all the photographs and a few of the other item specifics, and then she kind of does the description and make sure the title is correct before we release it. I have 2 soft boxes right now. I definitely want to upgrade. I want a lit back wall. I still have to do editing for my photos, but this is what I use. I use 2 just generic soft boxes. I think they're like 2 foot by 1 foot. They're really small, but they're 5 heads. So it does have, I don't know if you can see. There you go. So it is a 5-head system. I don't use all 5 heads. I don't need them. It's overpowering as it is. I think I have 2 off on this one, and I have to compensate for the overhead lightings with the other one. So I have 3 on one, 4 on the other one to overcompensate overhead lighting. But I run Two different types of backgrounds. I run a solid black for all my whites, and then behind it, all I got to do is pull it out, and I have a full white background too for all my other ones. Coming over to where my shoes these are already prepped and ready to photograph. So they come from the prep table that I showed you earlier to this shelf here. The shelf is ready to go. And then we have our lit box to photograph all our hard goods, all our shoes. And it is just lit with a shop light up above. What makes this work correctly is it's pulled back to the edge and then tilted at like a 25-degree angle. If not, you'll get glares on everything. But with that, it works fine. It was super simple. I bought the foam core from the dollar store, so for a couple bucks and like 15 bucks for the lamp, I get incredible photos with that. I do still edit those. I use a program called ACDC, ACDSEE. It's a paid program. It's an editing tool and a camera app as well. It's what I've been using. It's been working very well for me. And then now we come over into my clothes. I tote all my clothes. I can fit 30 items in every tote. Every tote is lettered through the alphabet, A through Z. After you get to Z, it then becomes A1 or F1 to Z1, and then so on. So right now I am running a full set of 3 alphabets, so 4 total sets of alphabets, 30 per tote. How I keep track of that is through tags. I have on my sort table, I have all my boxes separated for each tag, and then I know that B124 is available. I slide it on my sheet, and I never have to worry about if a tote is full, if totes are empty. All I got to do is just grab tags and go. They're all paper clipped on. I just paper clip them on top of the product itself, which seems to work fairly well. I haven't had really an issue. I might have had maybe a total of 10 in the last 3 years that I've done this slide off, and it's normally when I'm pulling out something else, I notice that it fell, and then I replace it. So all in all, this is how I do it. I do have some hanging. They're just numbered HG, and then I have the ability to do 9,999 of those is the way I numbered these, in case I actually wanted to hang instead of do the totes once I got here. I knew I didn't want to have to go back and change anything. So that gave me my 10,000 items if I ever wanted to switch over to hangers. And then I still have now tons of room to be able to put in more racking, and I should be able to get anywhere from, depending on my hard goods, at least 10,000 items, one-offs, in totes. And then I got the 1,000 shoes, and then whatever I can fit within my hard good section. That comes now to my sorting. So we've done almost a full circle. There's our front door again. Turn through. There is our photography area. Now, when I come through and I sort my clothes, I have a sorting system here. I got to get a new light for this table because right now I am actually sorting on the sort table and not this table. So I'm taking them from here, bringing them over to the sort table, sorting them, and then taking them back over to here. But each one of these totes represents items. So you have short sleeve, long sleeves. You got coats. You got, I'm missing another one. There's another one normally goes there, which is pants. You have skirts, dresses, so on. Each one of those represents, so that way when I'm actually prepping all this stuff, I am not jumping back and forth throughout, and it makes the drafting process 10,000 times easier. So when I get my big loads, I sort, I look for imperfections, issues. We discard any of those that we might have missed on the sorting process, and then everything gets sorted into a bin. That bin gets taken over to our prep table, and we fill out sheets. I've created sheets that follow the whole process from start to finish, so that we have an idea of what's going on, what prices we're running, how many we're getting done every day. So like those in the tote, they're ready and prepped. They're going to go to my wife. She's going to finish the drafts on those. They'll come back, and then I will bag them and put them away. But that lets us ensure that we have X amount going out every day. So many are drafted, and we're meeting our monthly goals of how much we want to list. Right now, we're not meeting those goals, but we're getting really close. So I'm hoping here real soon that we can start getting this really down and get the flow a lot better. But eventually what I would like to do is use this more as my office here. I do have a laptop and everything out here, but our main internet is it's about 50 feet away, 60 feet away, and it doesn't pull it like it needs to. So to be able to sit out here and do any kind of work is almost impossible. But I want to run a Cat 5 line out here and make sure that I'm direct connected so that I don't have any lag. And then I want to use this more as my office, and then I can come out here and work and kind of separate home and business a little bit better than what I have it now. Because right now I do all my system work inside the house, and then I do all my warehousing and shipping out here. So that's about it. That's my warehouse. That's how I have it. There is roughly around 3,000 items right now within the warehouse. Like I said, we should be able to hold anywhere from 12 to 20,000 items in here without really expanding too much more off of this. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope what you saw helps you in your quest, or maybe something that you saw that you can implement. Of course, if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to leave a comment below. I know I don't have the best track record of getting back with you right away, but I do read them, and I will definitely try to answer any of these questions as possible, because I know there will be questions. So as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed our little tour, and I hope you guys are doing wonderful in your eBay adventures as well. And as always, until I see you guys next, peace. Unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end, and here we are. So if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to continue to follow my journey, make sure you subscribe. So until then, I'll catch you on the flip side. Good night. Goodbye. See you later. Toodaloo.